Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. I'm going to report about the protection of the marine environment, part 1. The first thing that I will discuss to you is about the discharges to the sea. Oil spills are harmful to marine birds and mammals, as well as fish and shellfish. Oil destroys the insulating ability of bird mammals, such as sea otters and the water repellency of bird feathers, thus exposing these creatures to harsh elements. Without the ability to repel water and insulate from the cold water, birds and mammals would die from hypothermia. Juvenile sea turtles can also become trapped in oil and mistaken for food. Dolphins, whales can inhale oil, which can affect lungs, immune function, and reproduction. Many birds and animals also ingest oil when they try to clean themselves, which can poison them. Fish, shellfish, and corals may not be exposed immediately, but can come into contact with oil if it's mixed into the water or wood. Shellfish can be also exposed in the third denial zone. When exposed to oil, adult fish may experience reduced growth and large livers, changes in heart and respiration rate, fine erosion, and reproduction impairment. Fish, eggs, and larvae can be especially sensitive to lethal and subterranean impacts. Even when lethal impacts are not observed, oil can make fish and shellfish unsafe for humans to eat. Already 2/3 of aquatic life is considered to be an endangered species. In other ways, anytime you dump or release chemical waste, it will have an effect. As it rains, those chemicals are washed into rivers, which feeds the waterfalls and then goes into the ocean. When a toxic waste harms one organism, it can end up destroying an entire food chain of aquatic life. Improperly disposed chemicals pollute marine life and kills sea mammals, corals, and fish. At the same time, seabirds are affected because they eat the fish. In a matter of fact, any organism that digests affected marine life can have adverse effects. Just look at what happened to the man in China. Just recently, his body was riddled with tapeworms from eating contaminated sashimi. Unfortunately, the effects of sewage on the environment are largely negative. It needs to be properly treated before it can be disposed, especially in the ocean. There are two problems, however. In sewage, it's only partially treated before it is disposed of. It can contaminate water and harm huge amount of aquatic animals. Alternatively, leaking or flooding can cause completely untreated sewage to enter rivers and other water sources, causing them to become polluted. The consequences are great. In September, a large part of River Trent was polluted by sewage in Staffordshire. Over 15,000 fish were killed, and would have been worse if sewage had reached a human water source. Contamination of water source can cause disease to spread, such as E. coli, diarrhea, and hepatitis. Most marine debris, 80% comes from the trash and debris in urban runoff. Land-based sources. Key components of land-based sources include litter, trash, and debris from construction, ports and marinas, commercial and industrial facilities. And the trash blowout of garbage containers, trucks and landfills, ocean-based sources such as overboard discharges from ships and discharged fishing gear account for under 20%. The second one is pollution prevention measures. Pollution prevention on board vessels. In 1973, IMO adopted the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, now known universally as MARPOL, which has been amended by the protocols of 1978 and 1997 and kept updated with relevant amendments. The MARPOL Convention addresses pollution from ships by oil, by noxious liquid, and substance carried in bulk, harmful substances carried by sea and package from sewage, garbage, and the prevention of air pollution from ships. MARPOL has greatly contributed to a significant decrease in pollution from international shipping and applies to 99% of the world's tonnage. Other treaties address anti-fouling systems used on ships. The transfers from alien species ships ballast water and environmental recycling of ships. Reductions of pollution generated by ships have been achieved by addressing technical, operational, and human element issues and are all the more noteworthy when compared with the significant growth in the world's shipping industry, both in size and the world fleet of distance and Atlantic travelers. IMO is continuously pursuing a proactive approach to enhance implementation and enforcement by the flag and port states, including a proactive action plan to ensure the shore-based reception facilities for ship-generated waste keep up with international regulatory requirements. MARPOL Annex 1, Prevention of Pollution by Oil. Oil tankers transport some 2,900 billion tons of crude oil and oil products every year around the world by sea. Most of the time, oil is transported quietly and safely. Measures introduced by IMO have ensure that the majority of oil tankers are safely built and operated and are constructed to reduce the amount of oil spilled in the event of accident. Operational pollution, such as from a routine tank cleaning operation, is all been secured. The operational and construction regulation introduced by MARPOL, which entered into force in 1983, have been a success. The statistics from reputable industry and independent bodies showing that these regulations, along with the other safety-related regulations, such as the introduction of mandatory traffic, separation schemes, and international standards for seafarer training, have been instrumental in continuous decline of accident oil pollution that has taken place over the last 30 years. The MARPOL Convention in 1983 introduced a number of radical new concepts, such as the requirement for new oil tankers to be fitted with the segregated ballast tanks, so as to alleviate the need to carry ballast water in cargo tanks. This was superseded by the requirement for oil tankers delivered from 1996 onwards to be fitted with a double hull. The protection of the marine environment was thus greatly enhanced. As far as operational oil pollution is concerned, many innovations introduced by MARPOL on allowed discharge of bilge water through the oily water separator with the well-known 5 ppm standard, or oily waters from the cargo tanks through the oil's discharge and monitoring system have contributed greatly to a noticeable decrease in the pollution of the world seas. Though it is fair to recognize that a greater effort to improve compliance must be carried out. Prevention of pollution by garbage from ships. MARPOL Annex 5 seeks to eliminate and reduce the amount of garbage being discharged into the sea from ships, unless expressly provided otherwise. Annex 5 applies to all ships, which means all ships of a type whatsoever operating in the marine environment, from merchant ships to be fixed or floating platforms to non-commercial ships like pressure crafts and yachts. Placard. Regulation 10.1 also requires every ship of 12 meters in length or over and every fixed or floating platform